All right. Hello again, beautiful souls. We are here for the first session in the Holy Fire Karuna Reiki symbol session series. So we are going to dive deep into the Zonar. I just even just saying that, echoing, we are going to do some chanting with it. It's going to be a very, very powerful session today. So, I'm trying to lean into like how much like I want to talk about like Holy Fire Karuna itself. But really I feel I kind of want to just dive more so into the session. I'll talk very briefly about it, so we have like some context here. Of course, at any time you guys can just type into the chat and ask questions. Afterwards, you can feel free to unmute and ask questions, and of course to share your experiences. That would be lovely if you like. My beautiful replayers, please do email me back and share yours as well. So yeah, I mean, Holy Fire Karuna Reiki is another development from William Rand and the beautiful International Reiki Center, which he also created and owned. He's a very beautiful Reiki master. He's been doing this for 35, when did he say, like 80? We're admitting other beautiful souls. I think he got his master in like 88, 87, something like that. It might have been a little earlier. And so he's done a lot for us. So he's done a lot for us in the way of like these manuals for the Holy Fire Reiki manuals, the Holy Fire Karuna manuals. He's done a lot for the research, like the true like in-depth on high research from other Japanese Reiki masters, like dating back to people that even trained under Hayashi sensei, who was directly Sui sensei's student. So, you know, getting the true knowledge of Reiki's history and how it developed and how it was born, how it came here. And so he has always been deeply involved with Reiki in all of its level and deeply involved in his own spiritual practices. So Karuna Reiki came from his work with actually several other Reiki masters as well. And over a period of time is when they developed these specific 8 symbols to come in and kind of merge. At this time, I believe it was with a Sui Reiki as well, but now that Holy Fire is here in 2014, this was another gift from the On High Brothers and Sisters of the Light. It's now Holy Fire Karuna. So just like, again, very briefly, but if you guys don't know, like the power symbol, like the Shokure, the Seiheki, the mental emotional symbol, and the distance symbol, even the master symbol, these are not like, some of them aren't even like Japanese heritage. Like a Sui sensei wasn't like divinely given these symbols, and that's why they work. It was through a series of processes of developing this energy. And then at that point, as it developed, as they grew, as more need for a higher reach and a higher level of this energy came, is then when they were led to certain Sanskrit words. Even the Seiheki is Sanskrit, and other symbols. And then of course, when this is just like we nowadays receive divine guidance, right? When things are actually led, once they brought them into practice, they were shown very, very much through the energy of Reiki, which is the source of all that is, to be amazingly effective. So it's the same thing with these symbols. It's just, of course, a little bit down the line that they came and were developed, they were received, and through practice and through the assimilation of the very high energy levels that these Reiki masters already had, they've been shown to be extremely effective. So again, like I've been working with energy medicine for some 20 years now, considered myself a very powerful healer and teacher, even with Holy Fire and the other work I do with the frequency codes and so forth. And so to once again, to be honestly really just blessed with this next level, because we can always develop our skills. You will always be able to develop your power, because our power comes from a limitless source. Your power comes from a limitless source. So the way that you can expand your energy and grow your understanding of yourself and the way that you use energy, it can all grow. So especially all the symbols are absolutely amazing, but like when I got to feel Zonar, along with like the other really deep activations that I went through in this program, it was just like a level of joy again. So Zonar is a deep, deep cellular healing. And so when we talk about healing on a cellular level, one of the things that I actually received in this class was that, of course, I mean, it works and honors like all cells, but they really wanted me to address or to be brought awareness of the epithelial cells. And it's like, okay, I get it. I've heard that word before, but I'm not like let's let more people in. I'm not like a biologist, so on and so forth, right? I've studied anatomy deeply in massage therapy, but I had to go look it up, right? So it's like, okay, so what is this doing? Or what is the epithelial cells? It winds up the epithelial cells like make up all your lining, like they're the lining of the skin, they're the lining of your organs. And the way that they operate, they can become very clogged with dense toxicity. We know that toxicity also comes from an emotional base. So kind of like when I was going deeper into it, it was showing me like what I call being offline. Like when I tap into people's energy fields and it's just like, oh, well, there's certain body parts that just don't even feel connected to, again, source, all that is. It's offline. You can feel when your energy is flowing, and like we can feel blocks or pain or densities when it's not. And I was like, oh my God. So like that's kind of what's happening. It's like the conductors, or right, the passageways, like these epithelial cells, which all these circuitry, all these toxins, all these nutrients, like all the good stuff, right, should also be flowing in and out. And it's not. So like what I'm receiving is like, this is one of the big issues on an actual physical cellular level. So when we talk about healing on a cellular level, and why I'm like, oh my God, this symbol is because you'll feel it. You will feel this whoom, 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 in the body. When we get to the chanting part, which I'll probably bring in a little towards the end, I'm going to ask, at first, I'm going to say, we're going to bring in the chanting of Zonar. Chanting, by the way, is a really beautiful addition. Like we teach and pass on in class how to chant the symbols. And it was such an amazing experience. I just want to share a little tiny more about that because it was so interesting. There was like 18 people in our class and William. So if you've ever experienced like with Zoom, like even if one person unmutes, it's like the dog's in the background and you're hearing all this buzz or just whatever. So he couldn't have 18 people unmuting like unharmonic and just like chanting, starting soon, starting late, whatever. It would have just been like a cacophony of noise. So he chanted and we were all silent, but we were in groups. So like I had like 4 of the people on the 18 screen people that were in my group. And so like when he would say, okay, chant this to number 1 person, we would chant. Yes, I was doing it out loud, but they didn't hear us, right? They could only hear William, and William didn't know who the number 1 people was. So like they were receiving our healing and our chanting silently. I experienced some really powerful shifts. I didn't expect to go into my childhood and do some healing, honestly, during that, but I did. So it's very powerful on a cellular level, the chanting. So I'm going to do a chanting for your entire aura and energy and body. And then after that, when I'm called, I'm going to ask you to pick an area, right? Which I won't even know, but you'll know, and Holy Fire will know, and Zonar will know. And then I'm going to chant in to that area. And I really want, I'm going to want you to pay attention to the whole thing, right? Like tap into your energy, let it play with you, let it flow. But especially then, like feel that part that you chose. Okay. So yeah, it heals really deeply on a cellular level. And since it heals very deeply on a cellular level, this symbol is also seen, shown to heal past lives, because one of like the issues, if you will, of deep cellular healing is sometimes that trauma, and like these karmic issues, because it helps to heal karmic issues from past lives as well, come in with us. This is like cellular memory, like little kids, like people will be born with like, let's say like a birthmark here or something, and then like they'll remember being hung. Same thing, like birthmarks on the abdomen, and then sometime like an Edgar Casey thing will come up and like it's like, oh yeah, I was stabbed there. And what's really beautiful about it, also going back to the cellular memory, right? Again, epithelial cells and like the things where this trauma, these memories, things are stored. Same thing with cellular memory. It comes through energetically. So what's cool with how Zonar works with karmic issues is because you may be playing out a story with somebody in your current life that is purely karmic based. And to heal that, we need to understand the lesson, right? Or the cells need to be able to know that they can move on and stop playing out that karmic role. This, again, is very common for when we see things like, just for example, like I know my father in a different life was like a very good friend and confidant of mine in this like ancient Greco-Roman life. I was like a writer and a scribe. I was kind of affluent, and I recognized him. He didn't look like him. Well, he kind of, a little bit. But I recognized his soul when I was in this life, and we were like very, very dear confidants. And I'm very, very close. Me and him probably have the closest relationship out of all the kids. Another life though, I recognized my brother, who I look at me like, I recognize my brother, let's sing it, who was not that nice to me at all growing up, to say the least, as someone who was in charge of throwing me in a lake. Back in like, the persecution days. I was this little old lady that lived on the hill. There was a huge backstory we can go into, but in basic, he was one of like the lead government officials, clergymen, really it was, that decided who was going to be killed and persecuted. Of course, in that theory, it was like if you floated, you were a witch and they would drag you out and then burn you. If you did not float, if you drowned, then they absolved your soul from being a witch, but you were dead. So karmic issues, right? So we can heal things in our lives to why we played out some sort of abuse story or some sort of tie that is not serving us anymore. Amazing, right? So what I feel, well, let me go a little deeper into this. So it also, of course, then can heal things from like child abuse and trauma that we lived in this life, because that is a very, very easy and normal way for us to store cellular trauma. So one other thing that I want to bring up with that, and then we'll probably get started. I'm going to go through like this little thing, how I'm going to bring it through. Probably one of my favorite things with Zonar, I'm surprised I didn't say this first, is that it actually acts as like a spiritual anesthetic. So you can imagine that sometimes bringing up past lives or karmic issues or child abuse can be harmful, right? Can be reliving that, right? Seeing it can feel harmful. We don't want that. That's a lot of times where things like therapy and other types of things, they're just not as effective, because what you're actually doing is like imprinting and reestablishing those programs in your body. So this acts as like a safety blanket and like a soother, and It sometimes will allow you to basically bring awareness to what that situation was that was affecting you, like what you needed healing on that cellular level, kind of show you the situation, but it takes like the emotion and the trauma out of it. And this is what I witnessed in class, where I saw this abuse that I had forgotten about for a while, but I could almost like, it was just, oh, I forgot that that was a very shitty event. So that I'm holding on to that. Okay, thank you. Thank you for letting this come up so it can heal. But there is zero emotional attachment or pain to it whatsoever. And then, of course, sometimes what I also love about energy medicine is that you may not be brought awareness of anything, right? It might just let you heal on a individual case-by-case basis. If source itself and your guides, the benevolent ones, feel that it is best for you to like bring up the energy so that you can feel slight amounts of it again, like it might be something like it is in your highest interest to actually purge those emotions, right? Which is crying and things like that, to resolve that issue once and for all while Zonar is taking it up. So it's really beautiful, like to do that. So many times I hear in the spiritual communities, like people are kind of getting like re-traumatized from like inner child work and other things when I mean, well, there are solutions and there are other ways to go about healing, but that's in a deeper discussion as well. So yeah, so what I'm going to do, we're going to bring in a little holy fire first because this is Holy Fire Karuna. So I'm going to like seal, bring in this really beautiful, divine, loving energy. It's very likely that you're going to feel this deep warmth that could surround you completely. It could go to a certain body part. Holy fire, just like Honchaze Shonen, is like a homing device. It knows what to do. It knows where to go. It knows what you need. This is really like the most powerful, beautiful thing about holy fire is that it is going to heal you. It is going to interact with you. I am a beautiful facilitator. I am here for you. But really like I am bringing it forth, right? I'm setting the tone. I'm setting the stage. I'm holding the container. Holy fire and these beautiful symbols will be working with you. This is again why it's so effective in a group as well, that you will be getting individual healings today. So we'll bring in holy fire, and then I'll bring in the absolutely beautiful Zonar. And I really feel what I'm being guided to do is kind of going on these big bullet points, is saying, now we're asking Zonar to reach you where you need to be reached on a cellular level today, to wrap around your cells and to wrap around that trauma, to take away the edge, to take away the pain, and to let these tissues release this toxicity, to release and to heal and to transmute. So that's what we'll do, and we'll go down these bullet points. And then at the end, I'll bring in the chanting to kind of seal the deal. I like to call, I'm going to write this whole article on healing and then sealing, because it's super important, right? As we heal, we're also wanting to bring in the energetics to then seal the damaged points, to seal the wounds, to seal the auric tears. Okay, my beautiful friends, I think we're going to go ahead and get started. Oh yeah, it's going to be so beautiful with the chanting. If you guys are called, because at the end it's very simple, right? So of course with there not being activated in you, it's going to be a little different, but it might just want to, if you want to sing and chant with me at the end, let yourself express, right? Let yourself open up. I'm going to take another tiny sip of water. I would normally chug a lot more, but I am also releasing and healing. I'm doing bladder work, and I'm not trying to get up to go do that. So tiny sips to refresh. Okay, my friends, we are here. We are in it. Let's go deep into this beautiful session. If it is safe for you to do so, please close your eyes. Allow your breath to find its natural rhythm. You may be called to take a few deep breaths at this time. Allowing your focus to drop down into your sacred heart center. Allowing anything that may have been on your mind or may have distracting you just to fall away, to come into the sacred space of divine love as we go ahead and call forth Holy Fire, Fire. Holy Fire, Holy Fire, Holy Fire. I'm asking you today to wrap around each of these sacred souls, no matter what time or space they are receiving your healing. Please wrap around their hearts, their bodies, their minds, their rooms, their homes. Please fill any spaces that felt like they needed your divine love. Please go into their energy bodies and physical bodies into the exact right frequency, temperature, and strength that is divinely guided for each and every one of these sacred souls. Just going to beam a little holy fire love into you. My other hand is wanting to like support and to cup. So it's just very, very much holding and nurturing. This holy fire really is divine love. It is. Holy fire represents the most unconditional sacred love. And what's possibly even more beautiful is that Karuna itself represents compassion. Karuna is compassion. And so divine love mixed with divine compassion, it can feel like your heart may want to start to melt. And really you just find things shifting so deeply and even easily. I tend to try and not to throw around that word too much because we all know that being on the healer's path can bring up all sorts of challenges. Being a human can bring up all sorts of challenges, but things really do start to move. Your intention, this is what we're going to ask. We're asking for each one of these sacred souls to feel and to know and to be guided by you. Let them see your light in their lives. Let them see your light in the queries and the ponderings, the questions that they have had recently. Bring them light into these endeavors, into these tasks, into these pathways forward. Show them the way, show them the best way. Bring them direct guidance, whether through hearing or knowing or seeing the people, the opportunities. Guide them clearly and visibly. And then please give them one of your other sacred tenets of empowering their lives. Bring them the confidence, bring them the means. It's like really going deep into the body now. It's like, okay, let's fill you up. We're filling you up with that empowerment. Okay. So I'm witnessing when I close my eyes and I'm in my mind's eyes, I'm witnessing these really beautiful, sacred, non-burning, but very warm and tingly the flames can be surrounding each of you. And it's really beautiful because holy fire is a living flame. And so it vibrates to all the frequency rays and all the frequency colors, right? The spectrum. So when I close my eyes, I can see like these vibrant pinks and purples around some of you, and then like the beautiful creative purifying oranges around others, a really brilliant white green like gold mix around others. It's so, again, just like I knew and just like it always is, each of you are receiving a very precise and tailored session through Holy Fire right now. So know that this is basking around you and nurturing you and loving you. The beautiful rose energy also just came through. So I'm just going to acknowledge the sisterhood and the motherhood of the rose. Definitely Mother Mary energy wanting to just express forward, again, divine love itself, wanting to express forward, to nurture you, to hold you, to let you know that you are seen. And now, just because I know that I'm meant to acknowledge what I see, we are going to go ahead and bring in the absolutely beautiful Zonar energy. Here we go. Sacred holy fire and the energy and essence of Zonar itself. I'm asking for you to reach into each one of these sacred souls, again, across any time or space that they are witnessing and receiving your blessings. I'm asking you to reach into their cellular body. Reach in and surround and love. Hold, release, transmute, and dissolve any discordant cellular memory, toxicity levels, whether from physical, emotional, or mental or energetic trauma. Please now go into each of their sacred bodies and allow them to receive the exact best precise levels of energy into their cells on an individual basis. I'm going to go ahead and bring in some silence, my friends. Receive the Zonar healing. They're just a very slight message, but I do want to bring back some silence. They're just wanting you to be aware. They're like, focus on the tissues. Like I'm hearing, feel the cells, bring your focus into your body, into your cells. They want you to be aware of those. Where is it that you're feeling this? Where is your body? Like, yes, more, please. It's just soaking this up. It could be your entire body. Very, very much. Sometimes we just need an entire adjustment. But more so, many of you are likely feeling this in specific areas. And they just want you to just gently allow your awareness to be there. You don't have to do anything because the Holy Fire Zonar is doing it for you. being called to, I mean, again, it's going to be a very personal where it wants to go, but they're being specific that they really kind of want this symbol to like waft around your body. And we're honoring the energy body. So yes, we can say, of course, cellular is in the physical body, but we also very much know that cellular damage and cellular issues very much stems from the energetic body. So it's kind of in a way we're doing like these beautiful little releases, making sure that any attachments and holes and tears, even cords, right? Again, cord and attachment, I'm really healing here. We are healing, but I'm hearing that this is what they're wanting to pay attention to. So very much you can feel these energetic fluctuations all around your body. And where any of you had specific attachments and cords, then you're likely going to feel that whoop. You're going to feel these releases in the body. You're going to feel again those pulsations and things like that. Just going to sweep behind the phone. That's how I like to do distant back clearing for my clients. We're going to go back to the ground. Yeah, that was big. There was stuff affecting the specifically with the power of holy fire, which takes it across all time, space, and dimension, to go into any particular past life that you on an individual level were needing to be addressed today, especially when it comes to karmic issues, but also that relates to the specific cellular healing that you have been feeling the most and receiving the most today. Wherever it was that you were feeling that in the body, again, it could have been the whole body. This is what we're asking, right? It's like, well, what was that toxicity? What was that trauma? It's not that the memory needs to come back up, but now I'm asking Zonar and Holy Fire to travel through and into that cellular memory or those attachments or those cords, and whatever they were, we are asking for that deeper level cellular healing, as well as activating in an even stronger effect that spiritual anesthetic. And we are dissolving, transmuting. If an awareness of what the issue or what the karmic tie, right, what the lesson was that needed to express through you or through that relationship, through that lesson, through that trauma, if it is for your best for it to come up, it will naturally. You may be getting visions or memories or ideas right now, or this may come up later. Remember that you are sealed in the frequency of divine love and being offered a really powerful spiritual anesthetic so that you don't have to relive the actual pain. Being called to kind of bring this energy like up through the root, up through the sushumna, up through the chakras, beaming it into the higher heavens, into your connection to source itself, clearing those pathways. And back down. We're going to go ahead and sit here for also a few moments in silence and just allow this process to be what it needs to be for you. All right. And so we're kind of doubling back, if you will. I'm being called to ask that if there were any traumatic events that were specifically needing to be addressed and come up in this session for you, right? Those places in your body that were receiving the deepest healing. If there was traumatic or abusive events from this lifetime and this child time, that we are also wrapping that in that spiritual anesthetic. We are reactivating Zonar. And then we are going to, so I'm personally going to beam into my throat. That's where I'm called. Whenever I beam into myself, I'm really beaming into you. But please do know that this, again, is a homing device, right? Holy Fire is going to flow where it needs to flow. This is kind of just where they want the epicenter of the healing, right? So much that we stuff down and hide, and we lose our voice due to trauma. As in our younger years. So we're focusing here and then allowing it to flow exactly where you need it to flow. You know what? Actually, I'm going to do a double. I'm going to one beam in, one beam out. Sacred release, sacred healing. So what I'm witnessing is that in the specific aspect of yourself that is receiving the deepest amount of healing, in this, like the transmutation is taking place. Like I'm witnessing kind of just like the holy fire light that was in each of you and around you. This is what I'm seeing in the cells. So just like I talked about at the beginning, there's this like offline online energy, and when it's offline, it's pretty dark. It's almost like you can't really see into these areas. It can be very foggy and muddy, and again, sometimes it's just literally like, nope, we can't. It's offline. It's not there. Which can obviously be very detrimental when we are talking about parts of our body and parts of ourselves, where pain and dis-ease, of course, flourish. So I'm witnessing this like really sacred, all the color rays coming through and like bursting from these centers, and just like, here I am, I've always been here, I'm coming out, thank you, I love you, I can feel you, I can come home, I can be you, I am you, the light is you. Kind of getting all body shivers now. It's growing, it's growing, it's growing, the light is restoring peace, restoring love, restoring healing, restoring your original, sacred, authentic self. I actually think that this is a perfect time for the chanting. So I'm going to leave my hands down for this. I'm going to open my eyes slightly. So once again, like the guidance, I guess, that is just coming through is I said I was going to do it opposite, like we were going to do whole body and then in, but now I'm being called, where you were feeling that mostly. And again, if it is your whole body, if your whole body's going won't, then that's cool. Be like, I want it all, Megan, or I want it all, Zonar. That's fine. But at these points, either select the place that you've been feeling the most, or just go ahead and allow your sacred intuition to pop on right now and be like, oh no, but I'd really like to feel and receive Zonar here or here or here. Wherever you have just thought of is absolutely perfect. And that's where we're going to go into, okay? I'm going to bring this back a tiny bit. And sip a little water. Okay. Zonar. Because I'm feeling like we need it, it's wanting to come through. Holy Fire. Holy Fire. Holy Fire. Going to go ahead and bring Zonar back in through the voice, through the sacred sound vibration. And this time I'm going to ask and intend that it coats all of you. It's going to surround your body. It's going to reverberate into the entire system, and also very much pay attention to the sacred aura, to your entire biofield. So here we go. Zonar. The aura field ones are cool. Here we go. Zonar. So I'm being caught again. We're just going to allow this energy. We're beaming to you, to all of you, to anywhere that needs it, to the little you, to the past life yous, to all of you. We're going to go ahead and bring in a little bit more silence and beam this beautiful Zonar energy to you. All right, my sacred friends. I myself, we're gonna gather together. We're gonna bring our energy. We can focus it back in our sacred hearts. It's a beautiful place to keep your energy, right? We're so used to keeping our energy here, right? And in our heads, and when we just bring it down, we can start to breathe, we can start to feel balance, we can start to relax. I just want to see if there's anything else that specifically wants to come through with the beautiful Zonar energy and the beautiful holy fire wisdom. Yeah, just again, very deep messages of knowing that you are held. Very much that's what I feel again, divine love and compassion, holy fire and karuna. We are birthing. I was going to say we're birthing into, but we are birthing. You are birthing. The you that are called to these types of sessions are birthing a new era of love and peace and compassion and yes, abundance and joy. Really, the benevolent energies, the peace paradigm is returning. Honestly, that's a whole other thing, is that Holy Fire just got an upgrade to this world peace energy. And I thought I was in bliss with Holy Fire. I was. And then I thought I was in bliss when the new world peace energy came in, which I was. And then I was called to take this Karuna class after 4 years. And it's like, can I smile bigger? Can this keep getting better? And honestly, yes, it can. I don't know about channeled energy from William Rand or the benevolent ones with this. There isn't another level after this, but it can get better because we choose to be in our devotion and our dedication, right? And our discipline to this work. Every single time that you say yes to yourself, to getting on your mat and to getting in types of sessions like this, and to of course further activating your own training is the new bliss. It's oh wow, yes, absolutely, it can get better, and wow, yes, I can heal deeper. So that's another thing, with this divine love and compassion that's wrapping around you now. Know that if any processes do come up, because this was a really big session, what it offers us is very big. Know that you are being held through that. And that if processes come up, it is because it was for your specific best and highest interest. But while those things are coming up, that they are being transmuted and dissolved. They just are coming up for the awareness, oh, my cellular memory was storing that, and this is why, and this is how. And so now it's being taken. I can see that. I can see that I can now progress through that. I can see now that I can leave it behind, that I don't have to store it. That's what this is. And that's even for you, that those of you who will have things brought up. Again, a lot of the times during these healing processes, it just gets to go. We deserve to be able to transmute and to heal and to move on and to simply release as well. So also expect that. Let me know in the chats, or if you guys want to unmute, if you have any questions or you want to share your experiences. And while I'm waiting to hear if any of you do unmute or type, I think I will share kind of briefly, because I'm going to send this in the email. One, there are 7 more of these sacred classes we are going to go through. There's not technically, there's 4 symbols in the Karuna level 1, and there's 4 symbols in the Karuna level 2. And it's interesting how they're kind of broken up. Each one stacks on each other. So when I'm looking at it, it's like there's not too much of a differentiation, honestly, why there's like a level 1, level 2. There's only one Holy Fire Karuna Master Teacher class. Again, there's no like level 1 or level 2 to take. If you are a master teacher, you can come into this class, start using all of the symbols for your clients, for yourself, for your family on a practitioner level, but of course, then be able to also pass on the class. So I fully invite you and hope to see you guys on the next 7 classes. Many of you guys already signed up for that because they really, really do build on you. Like very briefly, Halu goes even deeper into this. It starts to heal those unconscious patterns. So the things that the cellular memories and the traumas and the dormant self and the shadow selves that we hid away started to be patterns and behaviors and like addictions and so on and so forth in our lives. It starts to heal that and to go backwards and to take away those patterns, healing the shadow self. It goes even a little deeper into the body and the mind and the emotions, and also is very much seen to take care of to heal sexual abuse and physical abuse, right? So always on a deeper level. One of the other very beautiful things that I love about this is that it dispels a psychic and psychological attack. So it's interesting that in this one, and now like just tying it together, that Zonar was like, you know what, we want to kind of preface for that, that it was already like, you know what, we want to work on cords, we want to work on attachments right now. If you are susceptible or receiving a psychic or psychological attack now, in absolutely, I don't want this to sound like any fault of your own, right? But in some way, your body is open to it. There are traumas, right? Where there are densities and such in tears and holes in your body that are open it to. Strong, whole, harmonic people are that they're protected, they're not getting damaged from all this stuff. They're not like losing their energy when they walk and when they go to the supermarket and things like that, because you will, with these symbols and with Holy Fire itself, more and more and more and more, you will be healing these deeper unconscious patterns in you that attract negative energy or allow negative energy in. And then you become a stronger, more magnetic, more harmonic, divine human being who just doesn't have to deal with that stuff. Your shield, you are so strong that they don't come in. It can't come in. Yeah. So like that's what we have to look forward to next week. And I will share all the further dates and the symbols with you as well. I'll be creating events, of course, talking about them as well. The Karuna Master Teacher class is open for enrollment. There is only 8 seats. I'm pretty sure I'm sticking to that because I do like to have space for everybody to share deeply. And a couple of them are filled already. So if they are for you, August or November, please do PM me and reach out. I'll wait a couple of days because I want to send this out to, of course, the beautiful replayers as well, kind of letting all of you get those seats if you want them. But then it's going to start being like promoted like very, very wide in all my circles and email lists and so on. So that's August and November. If you have not trained up to Master Teacher yet, my Holy Fire classes, which will truly equally bring you just amazing healing. This is the energy I've been talking about for 4 years. Then it changes my life time and time again. Level 1 and level 2 is in September 10th and 11th. And Master Teacher is late September into October, I believe, or early October. Again, if training in this energy, right? I want to give you the energy. I love to be able to heal. I love to be able to pass it on, but I want to give you the energy. I want you to have it. I want you to get as filled up and excited and as giddy as about it as I do. So that's why I teach. Briefly though, speaking of that and guidance, in class, I was very much lovingly told that I am to come back on as a healer. I wasn't doing as many private sessions. It was kind of few and far between that you could work with me privately, because I had been called to go bigger and to offer more collective work and to teach, right, to pass on. They want me in the thick of it. They want me to be offering specifically these sessions. And there's this really new powerful energy that I'm not going to get too deep into today. You'll be hearing me talk about it. The flame and the rose, these initiations and activations that I actually went through in my Karuna training. I knew they were coming in at the beginning of the year, but now I have them and it's mind-blowing. But things like that. So my private sessions are open, and they are open at half price. I probably expect that you guys to take them and to snag them up, but if not, again, I'll wait a few days. I think I have 11 seats for now, and until at least that I raise it a little bit. You know, I just want to make sure that, again, I honor each of you, to get you into these sessions, to work with you with whatever symbols that you are needing, and to go deep on these private sessions. So much can be cleared. One of my sacred students, soul friends, literally has like had 30-year-old pain like disappear from her body. She says her pain levels are like here, when she has had to have her nerves, I'm not going to say the words right, ablated, like cut, to not feel pain. Like they cut her cervical nerves, severed them so that she wouldn't feel this pain. That's how bad her pain level was. And I sent her Halu and Zonar in a private session. And again, of course, like I've been working with it, you know, energy for 20 years as well. But it was probably about 20 minutes, because we talked about 40 minutes for the 60-minute sessions, and that 20 minutes and she is still out of pain. 2 weeks later, her spine is standing, she's standing up straight. It's an absolutely honor to get to pass it on. Again, this is why they want me back, healing personally. So all of that is available to you. It's going to come out in an email in a couple of hours, as soon as I get this recording up. I think I saw a couple of chats here. Yeah, so Lisa, let it release. Okay, so I just want to, like, I am going to kind of like reinstall it again, but I also want to say that I don't actually have to do this because it's with you. Kind of just like the codes and stuff. And again, what I'm receiving, they want you to know, I'm seeing like the Divine Mother again also right now. You are being held and nurtured and comforted. If you need to cry, then cry and let that shit out. I said that, she didn't say that. Just, yeah. And the other thing with that, like, let the releases out. I am gonna read this, because again, that beautiful spiritual anesthetic. But and you know, Lisa, I worked with you for a while, so you are like me, and I get it. If we've bottled this stuff up for so long, it is most likely that it's for our highest good, to actually, like, to express it out, you know, to get to, for once in our lives, you know, really be able to, like, okay, there it goes. That's what I needed. So the other half of your sentence there, you know, feels like could be childhood trauma coming up. Let the tears be the healers. You don't have to go, like, don't make your mind go in and be like, oh, what is this that's releasing, or what is trying to heal? Nope. Zonar's there, like if you're feeling it in your body, or you can just like hug your emotional body. Zonar's there and Holy Fire's there, and they're taking care of it. So the releasing, the crying is absolutely beautiful, but don't make your mind go digging. Okay. If something does come up, then that's what was needed for you. All right. And just to go deeper into that, because I did want to say this already, of course, if you guys like, this is also why with the private sessions, if you are feeling like it's like, look, I need to go deeper, I need to talk about this. This is also why they're there. Go grab one of those 11 spots. I am totally here for you to, really bring this to the next level for you. I remembered a past life and saw another life where my best friend was my child, which makes total sense. I told you. Yeah, it's really interesting when you see stuff like that. I remember the first time that I recognized my family members, and again, they don't look the same, right? It's not like, yeah, again, they didn't look. I mean, my brother was like a Puritan, like he literally was like dressed in those clothes, and I was like a little old hag that lived alone on the hill. So we didn't look the same, but it's like their signatures, their resonance, so you can tell. So very, very interesting. Beautiful, Katie. I definitely felt the energy moving in my shoulder and big toe. Beautiful. Let it open, let it flow. My whole left side came up to balance, that feminine side of power. Yes, 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 yes. Beautiful. Again, what's coming up is that you probably had, again, like deep wounding. Again, the offline thing is wanting to come up. So ways that you weren't able to express that specifically within past lives as well that were affecting you now are flowing through, right? Are receiving that deep opening and healing. And yes, everybody, please do come talk to me about joining these classes. The August one is filling up already. So like that is what I would I mean, it doesn't matter if the August or November's for you. They're both going to have like an amazing amount of students. I really feel with these ones, we're gonna fill up. I know sometimes I did let in like 9 people. Like, it's just kind of hard at the end to be like, oh no, it's full until 4 months from now. But mostly we're probably going to stop at 8. But why I'm bringing up August is because it's like, hey, people are booking that already. You have classmates already. Come join me. Come play. Oh, Tracy, I love that so much. So she says, oh my God, the daylight seems so bright. I mean, mind you, my window's there and I have a ring light in my eyes here. But when I'm going to look at, okay, so I can see. But the light, okay, right? So when people say like light and love, so light is real, right? It's photonic light. And especially as your pathways and stuff open up, your eyes, oh my God, well, I'm not today. I'm going to like do lives on my experiences and classes, but this energy in particular, and again, it's like just right now, there are absolutely energetic upgrades happening to the physical eyes and also like inner perception. So this is why all of a sudden, like, it's like kind of like my life is the same on the outside, but I feel different and I act different and I see things different and I'm reacting to things differently. And so like you shift, you perceive. So that's like the energetics of it. This is how we create reality shifts, right? But then on the physical level, we are absolutely starting to be able to see again, like really with this energy, I don't want to say new spectrums of light because it's the spectrums of light that have always been there. It's probably what like bumblebees and like hummingbirds or whatever like see, right? And humans are kind of dull, right? We've been dulled down. There's a lot of stuff that's offline in us. So it's probably what like other animals, again, like see and just we can't, that we're starting to be like, oh my God, it's like really pretty out here. There's actually a lot of earth energy that comes through, especially in the later symbols, but Holy Fire Karuna itself is very Mama Earth love and activating. I was just outside on the solstice. It was completely cloud cover. I was getting no sun whatsoever, but it didn't stop me from wanting to be outside, right? And so I was in my normal little knoll here. I live at the Glen at Lafayette Hill. So it's like I'm lucky. It's just this beautiful, right? The Glen of trees. So it's gorgeous on this little public hill, right? I don't care. I'm gonna bring my chair out there. I'm gonna do my little like poses. People walking by their dogs in the cars. I don't care. But I look up and I'm like, those trees are beautiful. I was like, look how green they are. I really had to like look at them. I'm like, no, it's a new green. I'm like, I have not seen this green before. It's gorgeous. So I'm so happy you brought that up, TJ, because that's for real. Like it, yes, it is a new light. It is brighter, right? It's not like the sun, like the clouds just went away. It is brighter outside. Things are shifting with this energy. It's time. We are able to do it. Yeah, I mean, when I open my eyes in my room, yeah, because it beams in. Oh, so that's also what I was going to say. So if you're not outside, so when we inner vision, it can be no lights on in the room. You can be meditating at night. And when you start to open the proper receptors and like use this true on high energy and energy medicine, the true on high energetics, it's like someone's shining a flashlight at you. Like sometimes you have to look. It's like, what is that? It's like, nope, it's the light. It's within you. It's heavenly light. It's a beautiful phenomenon. I'm glad you saw that and brought it up. Would anybody like to share anything? Let me know. If not, my email is also always open. I'm going to sit here for a couple of more minutes. I'm going to let this upload, kind of get it over to YouTube so it can do its thing over there. And then within the hour or two, I'll get out those emails. Do go ahead and snag some of those private spots. I'm really, really looking forward into there's about five seats left, I think, for the class, for the master teacher class. So again, if you are a master teacher, this is the class that you want because you're getting your Holy Fire training too. You're getting Holy Fire and Karuna. If you are not at the Karuna level yet, then you want to walk through the amazing, powerful Holy Fire. And then, of course, give it some time after your Holy Fire Reiki Master, because that's going to be a whole new, beautiful, loving, experiential level for you. And then your next step would be this sacred energy. Thank you all for choosing to be here, for hearing that call again. Yeah, all I'm doing is working with you beautiful light leaders and light workers, light bridgers. The word I keep hearing is world bridgers and light bringers. And it's a new paradigm that we're calling in. You're so welcome, Kathleen and Sarah. So be here for it. You know me, own your power, reclaim your power, take it back. That's what we're doing with energy medicine. That's what we're doing with this devotional work. The more and more and more that we access this and come into contact with our divine authentic selves, is the more and more and more that all the false energies that just don't belong here, that definitely don't belong in us, but don't belong on this planet at all, can keep tumbling away. So I will see you in the group, or I will see you in a private session, or I will see you in class. And I'll definitely see many, many, many of you. If you guys haven't signed up for the next week, sign up. It's $11, $11.11. I'll send links for that too, of course, the discounted link since you already bought Zonar. Okay. I love you. Holy Fire blessings. Reach out to me. I will see you guys soon. Bye.